Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious podcast, episode 9. I'm Crash Out Phil, and this is completely oblivious Raymond.
Yay!
And
What's going on?
It's the end of the world as we know it. This week, if you can't tell, is going to be about the craziness of this week because holy shit, so much happened. But before we get into that, as always, folks, if you like what we do, subscribe, follow, drop a like, leave a comment, and you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Rumble. But yeah, so how much do you know about what happened in this past week?
Just what I've seen in YouTube shorts so far, but it's been crazy enough that it's come up in my YouTube short algorithm. So.
Yeah, so we've had the Elon and Donald Trump crash out. We've had Ukraine bombing the fucking Russia nuclear bombers, which has just been insane. We've had the fucking LA riots now.
Yep.
Which nutso. All right, come on, Guinness. Figure out what you're gonna do. Losing my train of thought because he's doing all that crazy shit.
He's darting from window to window, which happened to be across the couch where Phil's sitting.
What the fuck? Okay, so hold on. So we had the bombing of the Russian nuclear bombers. We had Elon and Trump crashing out. We had fucking
the LA riots.
The LA riots. We had the FBI seizing Fauci's cell phone.
Okay, that one's news to me.
Yeah. Again, we had the head of the FBI saying that Epstein killed himself and that they're promising to release the videotapes of it.
Now that Elon tried to call Trump.
No. That's got more to do with the case records, but this is like, apparently they're going to release like video footage of like nobody going in, nobody going out. And it's like, yeah, okay, but who called the paramedics? Who were the first paramedics on the scene? Like all this shit. But it doesn't matter. Who cares? They're going to release all that video. And then the AI video has been getting out of control this week. I don't know if you've seen the influx of that, but ever since the Google Gemini Vivo 3, I think it is, has been like where people can make videos. Now it's just gotten like crazy out of hand.
I don't know what that is, but I have seen an influx of AI videos. Mostly with the Sasquatches.
Yeah. So they improved their video generating thing now, and you can I think it's like once per day, unless you have the paid thing, you could generate a 15-second video.
No shit.
Yeah. So people are just going nuts and just spamming it everywhere. It's so fucking bad. It's not even like close, some of these things, but yeah. So which one of the crazy topics do you want to talk about first?
Well, I haven't heard about the Fauci thing.
Well, the Fauci thing has a lot to do with the fucking the Biden like auto pen like scandal and all of that shit. So you're aware that like Biden has late stage like prostate cancer that's like metastasized to his bones, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was not.
So probably 2-3 weeks ago now, that came out that he's got like fucking stage 4 cancer that is like metastasized to his bones. So clearly he had it the whole time that he was in the fucking White House. Well, or at least halfway through, because you don't get that overnight. Like and fucking people don't realize the president of the United States is given routine health checkups by the White House doctor. Like, this isn't like, oh, no, I'm not going to go see my doctor. You're the fucking leader of the free world. They're making sure you're good. So that if anything happens, they're catching it fucking right away, right? So that's the other thing. They're not releasing the records from, like, when he was in the White House, his medical records. We got the medical records of fucking Obama. We got the medical records of Trump. We got the medical records of Bush. Like, all these things been released every fucking time. And Biden are like, oh... What records? It's like, what do you mean, what records, you fucks? The medical records of the goddamn president of the United States, those medical records. So here's the other thing with that.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, well, but here's the problem.
They kept JFK shit under wraps for a long fucking time.
JFK?
Was it JFK?
You mean you're talking about fucking
FDR.
Yes, you're talking
Uh,
about FDR and his polio.
yeah, sorry, wrong acronym.
Yeah. Which, by the way, may or may not have polio. Because, like, polio doesn't usually, like, fucking, like, leave you just crippled. That's, like, where you eventually you end up in, like, the iron lung type shit. So it might have been something else going on there, but who gives a fuck? But, yeah, because the stuff like that, all that stuff's, like, public record and Freedom of Information Act shit. But the issue is with treating prostate cancer specifically. I think the drug that they use to treat prostate cancer, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here, but what I heard, it causes cognitive issues, like whatever specific medicine that they use. So maybe part of the reason why fucking Biden was so loopy and out of it the whole time he was in the White House is because he was getting these cancer drugs. And that also might have been why he was going to his house in Delaware like every other weekend. Maybe there he was getting treated by his private doctor to like help with this shit. And like now it's just like it's so far gone that they've made the announcement because it's sad, but if he dies from cancer in a couple of months, people are going to be like, what the fuck? How come nobody said anything? But so with all this, it comes into question, if he was in cognitive decline and the meds were making him worse, who the fuck was running the White House? And now with the AutoPen thing, which is like once you set that up, like anybody can like use it and sign it and fucking sign documents for you. It doesn't need like you there to do it. Anybody who had access to that AutoPen could sign these things, and they're trying to, and what the Fauci thing is probably going to lead towards, they're trying to say that all the pardons he signed at the end of his term are null and void because he didn't really sign them.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so they may fight that thing down the line, but regardless,
how are they going to prove that?
I don't know, but regardless, they might get Fauci for other things that aren't covered underneath the pardon. I don't know, but the fact that they went and confiscated his fucking phone, and the fact that he's also been like trying to like leave working in government employee and go work overseas in China for the fucking same laboratory that started all this shit. You're like, oh, okay. And I could be wrong on that, but I know he was looking to work overseas because you need permission, like when you've worked in the government so long, to try to like work somewhere not in the government, especially at that high level. Like, state secrets, like medical secrets, like fucking, yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Oh, and I think it also happened this week, speaking of like Fauci and medicine and whatnot, RFK Jr. removed the requirement of fucking the COVID vaccine for healthy children. So like he basically said this is not a required vaccine, is an optional for healthy children and healthy pregnant women. He removed it as a required vaccine.
I didn't realize it was.
And people are all freaking out. They're like this is ridiculous. He's like, no, it's like the fucking flu shot now. If you want to fucking get it, but you don't have to get it. And you're
gonna have to get the latest updated one anyway. So like.
Yeah, and they're going back to they keep showing his clip on Lex Friedman where he's talking about the fucking fact that there is no like safe vaccine, and they're like he's a vaccine denier, and it's like if you listen to like all his shit when he talks, he's not denying vaccines, he's advocating for safer vaccines, and there's some credence to this because there was an act passed in 1986. Oh, I forget what the fuck the name of the fucking thing is. But basically, the act that we passed in 1986 set up a vaccine liability court as part of the U.S. government because the vaccine companies were getting sued so often that they were fucking, it would cost, they would make $1 they would make $1 profit and they'd lose $3 down the line getting sued. So they were losing so much money that they went to the government. And they asked them at the time, they were like, Reagan was like, why don't you just make safer vaccines? And they told them that vaccines are inherently unsafe, so that there's no way to do it. So they set up the fucking thing that set the whole childhood vaccine schedule and set up the whole vaccine injuries court, where if you're hurt, you can't sue the manufacturer of the vaccine. You actually sue the government, and the government pays out injuries and settlements there. And the nice thing about that is because it's all civil court and whatnot, they just fucking sweep it under the rug. It just disappears after you sue in the vaccine court. Let me look that shit up. because I was looking into this before when people were like, "Oh yeah, he says no vaccines are inherently safe." And the problem is I can't find the language of the bill because when you go to the Congress like website about that bill, where usually you can see the entire fucking bill like written out in its entirety when you go to the congress.gov like website.
Mm-hmm.
That bill, for whatever reason, only has the summaries of it. It doesn't have the exact wording of the bill, which is unusual because I've read bills on fucking on those websites before. What was, let me see, act that set vaccine injury court. Ah, yes. The 1986 National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act. do you realize how fucked that is? Like we made an act like that basically just admits that like fucking vaccines cause problems for children, right? Like that
It doesn't sound good.
You know what I mean? And usually they make like those things really fluffy, right? You know, like the Save the Puppies Act. The fact that we called it the National Childhood Vaccine Injuries Act of 1986, signed into law by President Ronald Reagan, established the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, which created a no-fault system for compensating vaccine-related injuries or death. In other words, it relieved the medical companies from all liability, and then the government just pays you out like, oh, your kid died, here's $2 million.
Just sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
great that it's there in some aspects, but Jesus.
How much? Not much. How much does the VIC pay out per year? VICP annual payouts. The National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, VICP, pays out varying amounts each year. For instance, in 2019, the whole fucking shit. The total payout in 2019, which is like the data that the AI brings up, was $225 million, bro. In 1 year. Like, like which, and they're like, it decreased slightly from 2018, in which they paid out $226 million. And like, fucking, like, it's like, fucking, this is insane, dude. If fucking people realize that like this is what fucking like was getting paid out every year, like Jesus Christ.
I mean, how many total settlements is that?
Does it really matter at that?
I mean, if it's like $200 million settlements, you know?
How many settlements out?
Type faster, Junior.
Fuck you, I'm on my phone. So that then they fucking annual settlement numbers are not provided in the data. The VICP processed over 22,000 petitions since the establishment in 1988. Between 2006 and 2021, only 7,483 people were granted payouts. Settlements typically occur when the Department of Health and Human Services concludes the vaccine caused the injury, which ends the need for the claim to go to court. Okay, so that's the, sorry, not settlement. So that's how they're paying it out before it even goes to court.
Yeah.
So in settlements, though, they said by May of 2023 they've paid out $4.6 billion in settlements. But that's what I'm saying.
Less than 8,000 people.
Yeah, but if they settle it, it never goes to court. So like they never actually hear like. And the problem is, if it never goes to court, the FDA never gets the ruling to like, oh yeah, you should probably pull this shit from the shelves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. And people are like, well, the vaccine companies are never found guilty. Because we shielded them from liability. What the fuck? What do you mean? Like, I don't want to go to the whole vaccine thing. And I will say this once and for all, people. I am not anti-vaccine. I never have been. It's one of the greatest technologies we ever came up with. But what I am not a fan of is that fucking all these multi-billion-dollar corporations, when their patents run out, will modify it slightly by adding another chemical, this, that, or the other, and go, oh, my patent's been renewed, and now you have to make it through me. So, like, what's all that extra shit in the fucking vaccines?
Uh,
That's the part I'm not a fan of, and I would like investigated further. But our whole corrupt FDA system, where like the people that are on the FDA today are the head of the boards of these companies tomorrow. So they basically go, hey, if you pass this fucking vaccine through, we got a nice retirement job for you when you're done being on the fucking FDA in about 4 or 5 years. Which that shit should be fucking illegal. If you work at the
yeah.
FDA, you should never be able to fucking work for a pharma company afterwards, ever,
You
in
should have
any
no stake in
capacity.
a pharma company. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Like owning their stock should be illegal.
Yeah, if you work at the FDA.
Mhm.
Like, how that's not a conflict of interest, fucking who knows, but absolute power corrupts absolute. So yeah, so we got them seizing Fauci's fucking cell phone, so we'll see what becomes of that shit. And because I think the I don't know if they've pardoned him for past and future crimes, but I think that's where they're going to challenge the legality of these pardons. Like, you can't pardon somebody for future crimes. You can't just be
No.
like, you're immune from anything that we might find in the future. It's like, no, 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 no. Like, you need to like specifically have things to pardon.
Well, was that the wording? I thought it was more like the pardon for like they couldn't be like in the future come up with something that they've done. Say, okay,
No,
hey, this now.
no. So his son Fauci and a couple other people got like and correct me if I'm wrong. Look it up because you're typing a little faster. See if Fauci was pardoned for all past and future federal crimes.
How the hell do you spell Fauci?
Jesus Christ! Come on, not Jamie. Get your ass in
How do
there.
you spell Fauci? Goddammit.
Jamie does that shit with one hand, dude. I seen it. I seen
I'm
it.
facing the wrong way.
Fucking who gives a shit? Same face off. Tight, bitch.
Uh, do.
Yeah, what's the pardon for?
Pardon aimed to shield Fauci from potential federal prosecution related to his actions during the pandemic, particularly regarding his role as a director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, a member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, or as chief medical advisor to the president.
Okay, so probably what they're going to get him is not the pandemic shit, but the fact that he authorized the gain of function as in a country that's, for all intents and purposes, an enemy state to us. So the whole thing with the coronavirus popping off, and you can't even call it a conspiracy theory at this point because you go to covid19.gov and they have the whole fucking lab leak thing. They're like, no, it came from a lab. So probably I'd have to guess then what they're going to investigate him on is his connection to that whole lab that caused this in
Yeah.
the first place, because the NIH funded that gain of function research over there in Wuhan. And who the fuck was it? The one senator like grilled him on, and it was so fucking annoying. He was like I hate when the Senate questions people because they all just take the roundabout thing to not say what they're actually like means. But like fucking like he was like, oh no, that's not the definition of gain of function research. He's like, no, you're doing exactly what the fuck you said. And the senator that questioned him, I think is Rand Paul an eye doctor? Can look that one up. I think it was Rand Paul who grilled him.
RuPaul is a drag queen.
No, can fuck you. You don't know who Rand Paul is?
So it looks like I know who that is.
Yeah, is Rand Paul?
Senator.
Yeah, is Rand Paul an eye doctor? You got to search if he's an eye doctor though.
It does say Dr. Rand.
Yeah. I think he's like an ophthalmologist or whatever. Right?
Medical career.
Yeah, ophthalmology.
Where? You saw that? Oh, ophthalmology, right there. Okay.
And it's also at the medical career thing. Drexel University of Ophthalmology, right?
Yep, you're
Duke
right.
Duke University, or is it Drexel?
Duke.
Yeah. See, I could see that shit.
And my eyes aren't that good. I wouldn't be able to read it from where you are.
Isn't that crazy? I don't need an ophthalmologist to tell me my eyes are good. But yeah, no, he was like, they were all giving him shit. He's like, he was a doctor of ophthalmology. Well, I looked it up. Doctors of ophthalmology go through the normal med school that any practicing like general practitioner or doctor go through, and then they go through extra schooling on top. They're a specialist, so they have the core med school training. It's not like a fucking dentist, but I think dentists still do a degree of med school. But regardless, he had the full fucking med school training, and then he specialized, and he's like trying to like wave him off like he's not, like he doesn't know shit. It's like, I'm sorry, Fauci, that I'm not married to the fucking head of ethics at the NIH either, which that one fucking whole rabbit hole here. So fun fact with that, with the whole fucking mRNA vaccines, which before COVID weren't called vaccines, and none of them had made human clinical trials, right? Fucking the reason why they were reclassified as vaccines is because the head of ethics at the NIH fucking renamed it to vaccines. But you know who that is? That's Fauci's fucking wife. I'm sure there's no conflict of interest there. Yeah, he's married to the fucking head of ethics who renamed that definition. Because before they renamed it to fucking vaccine, the creators of this technology, it was mRNA gene therapy. Now, it's not gene editing, but it is a gene therapy treatment. And the original creators of the technology specifically say so. They say this is a gene therapy. And then suddenly it got renamed as a vaccine technology, and now there's mRNA vaccines everywhere, which is so annoying because now if you go to get a vaccine, you got to ask your doctor, hey, is this a traditional vaccine with some of the fucking dead virus in it, or is this some new made-up mRNA shit? And the thing that it is getting a breakthrough in now that would be awesome, and what it was originally trying to be made for, mRNA therapies were aimed at trying to treat cancer and trying to treat HIV. Now, in the terms of the cancer, every time they tried it in the animal clinical trials, it had horrible outcomes, which is why it never made it to human trials before COVID, which the disgusting part of that. But now recently, some researchers out of Australia have found use for it in HIV treatment, which is awesome because what happens in HIV and why it's so hard to treat before is the virus tends to hide in the white blood cells in the body. So they found through this mRNA therapy that they can get the white blood cells to express the hidden virus. And if they're able to get that to work fully, then they can get that in combination with either a vaccine or some kind of antiviral treatment where you're able to fully eradicate the virus from the body. So that would be amazing. That would be amazing if it cured HIV in that way. But you know, we are still a long time out from understanding the long-term side effects of these mRNA technologies. They may be safe. We don't know because no long-term studies have been done. We're a couple of years out now from COVID and from those vaccines coming out, but honestly, we won't know the ramifications of something like that till 10, 15 years down the line. Mm. And that's honestly the problem with all medicine. We come out with breakthrough technologies and we give it to people right away, but we have no idea what that long-term effects is. And I hate to say it, but for the elderly, using technology like that is beneficial, and we should test it out on them. And it sounds fucked up, but they're nearing the end of their life anyway. So if they die horribly from these causes, we already know, like, okay, you were at the end of the road anyway. Now we know from your sacrifice how these things affect people, and we don't give it to the youth. Like, that's like a lot
up to say.
Yeah, well, but it makes sense. Like, a lot of people are freaked out by Ozempic and long-term side effects there, which from what I understand, the only thing that is really an issue is the potential risk of thyroid cancer. Now, if there's other side effects aside, or if we determine the rate of thyroid cancer is just through the roof, then at least, okay, your end of life, yes, you might end up dying from thyroid cancer, but in your old age, there's probably going to be 3 causes that you die from anyway. You're going to die from cancer, you're going to die from heart failure, or you're just going to die from old age in general. So if you end up dying from cancer, which you would have died from cancer anyway, but for that last 10, 15 years because you lost a bunch of weight, your quality of life was better, it doesn't really matter. And I'm not saying that the elderly don't matter. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like you're trying to get better quality of life and extra years of life at the end of the run anyway. That's why like when they came out with the COVID-19 vaccine, I was fully for like elderly people that were at high risk wanting to get it. Like totally makes sense. The risk balance ratio there is correct. You know what I mean? You're in a high risk category. What's the harm? It's either going to help or if it makes it a little bit worse, you were a risk either way. You know what I mean? It's the people in other categories where it was an experimental technology. And still, I don't even know. You could look it up. Did Pfizer ever get fully approved? Did any of the COVID-19 vaccines ever get fully approved, not emergency use? Or are they still all under emergency use authorization? Because the scary part is, and people don't really realize
They have been approved for general use by the FDA.
when.
So Pfizer, vaccines, including the Pfizer BioNTech, doesn't have a date. Initially approved under emergency use, full FDA approval. Individuals 16 age or older for general use now. Yeah.
Yeah, just look up when did the Pfizer for general use.
20.
No, see the 2021 is still the emergency use author because that was approved under that was when it first came out under the emergency use authorization. 2024?
Today, the FDA approved and granted emergency use. Updated 2024.
So it's still under emergency use. It's never been approved. It's still under emergency use authorization. That's fucking insane because it said in there for 2024 or 2025. So the FDA has still not to this day approved it as an actual drug. It's still under emergency use authorization. That's insane. Let me look.
No, 2021. Yeah, was granted full FDA approval in August 2021. Before that, it was under the emergency use authorization.
Then why did it update the emergency use authorization still?
They keep updating the.
That doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to be under emergency use if it's been approved. Pfizer use. Because the problem with the emergency use authorization shit is they don't have to provide you a full data sheet. So like when people were getting these vaccines and you would ask for the allergy sheet and shit, they would just be like, no, we don't have to provide that. I remember when it went to Co-Modernity. See, sold under the brand Co-Modernity, blah, 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 blah. Trade names, Co-Modernity, fucking whatever the fuck.
Still might be emergency.
Crazy, dude. If it is. Oh, what a crazy time in life. I can't wait till they look back on that and read.
Not super clear, but yeah, I think it might still be under the emergency. Or at least certain versions of them, maybe.
Maybe the boosters?
Not sure. Moving on.
Yeah, kind of off topic. Maybe we could go into the whole COVID-19 thing another day. Fucking craziness that shit is. So we got the Fauci thing. What's the next thing you want to fucking hear about in the craziness? So we got the Trump Elon crash out. We got Ukraine bombing Russia's nuclear bombers.
So the only thing I saw from the Ukraine shit was when they took out the one bridge, and they're all like, "Oh shit, they can sneak in and blow our shit up."
The bridge.
Yeah, I saw something about so the Ukraine some some bridge that they blew up.
Oh, the last time they blew up a bridge was like months ago.
I just saw something about it a few days ago. Yeah.
No. The big thing was, so as part of the nuclear proliferation treaty that we have with Russia, both us and Russia are supposed to leave our bombers capable of delivering nuclear payloads out in plain sight. So normally that kind of stuff is hidden, but because of the treaty, both us and Russia have to do things where we leave those out where they could be viewed by satellite. And every year when we're decommissioning a certain amount of nuclear devices, we're supposed to leave them out in a field somewhere that could be viewable by a satellite for both sides to confirm. It's part of the treaty. So Russia had these bombers out there, and Ukraine went in with a crazy fucking drone swarm and just took out all these fucking bombers. Now, they use our intelligence gathering in order to do so. But really, they went in and did this because the EU gave Ukraine authorization to go weapons hot into Russia. Before we were like, no, you can't launch these things into Russia. And then then they were like, fuck it, you can do it. So like everybody's like, the U.S. did this. No, the U.S. had no parts. And Trump's talking about like just completely removing support for them because of this shit. And it's so funny because Zelensky, the balls on the motherfucker, he went and did this, and then like a day later was like, okay, we need to have a ceasefire now until things get... And Russia's like, fuck you. And they started bombing Kiev again. And it's probably going to get a lot worse this fucking week. But the EU did that because fucking Germany's been allowed to manufacture weapons again, and they put troops on the Russian border. So you can't tell me that Germany's not like, oh, our time has come. We will finish what we started.
Whoa.
Fucking, you can say whoa all you want, but like Germany controls the purse strings in the EU. They're the dominant power in that structure over there. Fucking Germany got what it wanted with the EU, and they became the seat of the economic power in Europe. They control everything. So if the EU says you can do something, Germany's behind the scenes saying you can do it. So this is a total escalation, and if it goes into all-out war, because fucking Russia might have enough pretty soon and just say fuck it and drop a nuke, Germany's going to be right there on the border ready to go in and fucking start fighting again, and then we'll have World War III pop.
Let's hope not.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Let them fucking duke it out over there. That to me, like, people are fooled by the short-lived amount of peace that we've had over there in the EU right now. Let's get something perfectly clear. Europe is the same as the Middle East when it comes to fighting. That entire fucking region has been fighting each other for thousands of years. Just because we had 100 years of peace, because after the last fucking World War, we went in and fucking settled the score a little bit, and we're like, whoa, we're going to determine what you fucks do now. Like, that's not the status quo for Europe. Like, think about we get taught in history how much, like, the 100 years war between fucking England and France. You know what I mean? And when Spain's fighting, Italy's fighting, Germany's fighting, that whole fucking region has been in war through most of its history. This is just a return to what it's always fucking done. There's been very loose treaties that, like, went on there. And before the nation states, there were city states that fought constantly. Like, it's not like people are like, oh, the Western society of Europe has stood for thousands of years. Bull fucking shit. Bull fucking shit. They were fighting constantly. Yeah, and the Roman Empire might have gone out and fucking like did this shit, but the thing people don't realize, it wasn't the Italian Empire. Italy didn't exist. It was Rome. The city of Rome conquered those areas. Not Italy. It wasn't the Holy Italian Empire. It was the Holy Roman Empire. And the Holy Roman Empire ended what? I think it was like 80 years before the founding of fucking the United States, some shit like that.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah, bro. Like search when the Holy Roman Empire ended and the U.S. was founded. Like, when did the Holy Roman Empire end? These things were like far closer than you fucking think. 1806.
1806.
Yeah, the Holy Roman Empire ended fucking 80 years before the founding of the fucking United States, bro. And they want to be like, we're civilized. The fuck you are. The fuck you fucking are. Like, when did Italy form as a country? Like, because if they ended in 1806, like, when did they become a defined country?
Uh, 1861.
So 10 years before us. And you go over there and like, look at our history. Yeah, the history of Rome, not you fucks. Like, yeah, this is why people drive me fucking nuts, because people are like, this is how these people have always been. You're fucking idiots.
Yeah, Rome, 1806. I would not have fucking guessed that. Holy shit.
The Ottoman Empire was still fighting in World War One. Yeah, dude. Now, granted, it wasn't the full Holy Roman Empire that it was like in the beginning. It was a little bit smaller, but still.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we declared independence before they fucking ended.
No. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry. The Holy Roman Empire ended 80 years before the Civil War. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. The fucking Italy as a nation formed after we did.
Yeah. The structures over there are old, sure.
Yeah, people forget we bought Louisiana from fucking Napoleon.
Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah, was to fund Napoleon's war effort. That's how we got it. And that was fucking like that was that before? Yeah, that was before the Civil War, but still that was fucking in the 1800s, bro. Like oh, they're like, no, Europe is so civilized. We've come together as the European continent. Since fucking when? Like, all of these, like, I that's why I really hate those motherfuckers when they look down on us. They're like, you conquered all the tribes of the Native Americans and did manifest destiny? Bitch, are you kidding me?
Blood in the wake of your country's name?
Yeah, like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's so funny that they look down on us, and I'm like, bitch, you ain't better. You're not better at all. Like, you're just like somehow a little pussified now. We're like, oh, we don't want to fight anymore. Some of you still want to fight a lot, but like, what the fuck, man? It's so crazy to me. So crazy to me that they're just like, oh yeah, you guys simmer down now. Simmer down. Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Zero balls.
Several of their wars between each other had automatic weapons.
Yeah. Fucking, yeah, more than automatic weapons. So fucking artillery, shit like that. It's just fucking crazy. It's so funny that like people don't realize that like this is such a tenuous era of peace that has never existed in the world before. And like if we go into World War III, we're just returning to the natural state that the world has always fucking been in. Like fucking whether we like it or not, that's been the natural state of people. We fucking fight. We fight over so many numerous things, and we're returning back to like that fighting state because people don't like peace. It's like the whole fucking Matrix thing. The first Matrix was perfect, but then people rebelled, so we put them in a shitty version, and they liked it better because they're like, "This is too nice. I don't like this perfect world." It's fucking and I can't doubt them. Like if you put people in a literal paradise society, if the utopia thing ever became a thing, we would rebel against it instantly because we'd be like, this is too easy. I don't like it. I need something to do. Like
that leads to the simulation theory.
Yeah, well, like
people are being the thumbsticks behind our shitty lives
because
they're bored.
Maybe, but it makes sense because look at what our fantasy like animes and video games are. It's like all trying to be the hero of the story. But no, like fucking like the AI coming out now is gonna be the next like I think the invention of AI is gonna be akin to the Industrial Revolution, wherein we greatly reduce the need of unskilled labor in order to like make things in society. So I think we're gonna have the same thing as back then, where we're gonna have probably, I want to say, a 50 to 80% reduction in the need of workforce. And what are we gonna do with fucking people that can't be in that like AI like world? Well, because everything's gonna be built easily for us and should hopefully eliminate scarcity, we're just gonna be like, here's your basic income, here's your house to live in, here's your computer, and I think that people are going to lose their fucking minds. Even though they would have the most comfortable lives that have ever existed in human history. You'll have your food paid for, you'll have your entertainment paid for, and you'll have a decent living. But what they'll look at is the 20% of the people still doing the fucking work to make everything run, and they're going to have that next level of fucking opportunity, and they're going to be like, it's not fair that I can't get up there. They're just gonna be like, sorry, the AI tested your intelligence ratio, and you just don't have enough to like outpace an AI. And I think it makes sense because like here's the fucking like the flip side of that. Like if you told me that, I'd be like, oh, that's perfectly acceptable. I'd love to just fucking like lounge around and live a pleasant life. But it's like, you know how dumb people think they're smart and smart people think they're dumb. It's the same thing there. Like the people not capable are gonna be like, well, that's bullshit. I don't accept that determination, and then they're gonna fucking want to like do crazy shit. And like I don't know what that looks like, but I think we are in for a great reduction of the need of like certain
Oh,
workforces.
for sure. Works on Star Trek though.
And you know what's the funny thing though? It's not gonna be what you think it's gonna be. Like people are gonna be like, we don't need plumbers anymore. You're wrong. What we're gonna not need is general office workers. We're not gonna need accountants anymore. Like the shit's just
Oh
gonna
yeah.
do it for us. It's actually the skilled labor that's still gonna be in demand. You're gonna need people that are gonna repair these fucking robots. One, but you're gonna need plumbers. You're gonna need HVAC guys. You're gonna need construction workers still. Like those things won't go away, but your general office worker job will go away. And the funny part about that is like these bloggers, these fucking like even like YouTube content creation will go away when it just generates the shit on its own.
For you. Yeah.
Yeah, and that shit is those class of people are going to be like, well, this is unacceptable because they already thought they were better than the people fucking collecting garbage and shit like that to begin with. So now when you tell them like, not only are you not better, you're not needed, they're going to lose their fucking collective mind. And you've already seen it. I think a media company recently like laid off like 50% of their workforce, and it's because they were getting AI to come in instead, and it leaked by accident that they're like, oh yeah, we had a 50% reduction, but really it's because now we're gonna get the rest of our workforce to use this AI tool and produce 50% more. Fucking nut. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. And I think we're going to see a lot more fucking like unrest in the world because just like during the Industrial Revolution, when it was a time of change, we're going to see the same thing now. Because like during the Industrial Revolution, we had the factory workers, stuff like that. People were losing hands, fingers, limbs, and then eventually that's what led to like the unions and the establishment of like the weekend and certain safe working hours and shit like that. Like we'll see the same kind of thing with AI, where we'll be like, okay, well because we have AI now, we don't need a full 40-hour work week. Maybe we need a fucking 20-hour work week to accomplish the same amount. And again,
Yeah.
the people not needed, maybe they get this, your base income. The rest of the people that still work will get Y. Who knows? I can't predict the future. But yeah, right. We went down a rabbit hole again there. I don't even know what that one
Yeah.
started off of.
We started with the Ukraine on that one. How the
Oh
fuck?
yeah. Oh, because we went on the tangent of how the EU has always been at war and they're a bunch of fucks lecturing us and blah 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 and
That
fucking
was a hard left turn.
whatever, man. That welcome to the way my mind fucking works, bro. Like this is a shit like like I gotta play stuff just so that I can fucking fall asleep. And you know what I've been on to recently, and we're gonna fucking tangent again. I'm gonna fucking tell you the name of this fucking song for like everybody out there, and it does kind of work to a degree. But the first time I listened to it, it made me feel kind of weird hearing it. Nope, don't play
What are you
that.
doing now?
No. So there's a song called "Weightless," Weightless, Weightless. Yeah, not weightlessness. Weightless by Marconi Union. This song apparently it has such a relaxing and calming effect that it is akin to benzodiazepine in terms of like relaxing and sedating people. Like clinically proven. You listen to like a couple minutes of this and it'll just like completely relax you and help you fall asleep. But I will say the very first time I listened to I felt fucked up. It felt weird. I didn't like it. But the second time I did it, the next night, like just like instant, like that song. It's only like I think the full song's like 9 minutes long, and by the end you're like completely asleep. It's crazy. So I highly recommend that to any of you disturbed sleepers out there, or the people like me that as soon as your head hits the pillow, a million ideas run across your mind at 1,000,000 miles a minute. Think about these things all the time, Ray. You have no idea. My mind never stops. I wish it did.
You got that big ass head.
Big brain's got big problems. So, the other fun fucking thing recently is I'll let you decide. Do you want to go Elon Trump crash out next, or do you want to go fucking the LA riot?
The Elon Trump crash out.
Oh my god, that one was fucking beautiful. Over the big beautiful bill. So, this crash out happened earlier this fucking week where like suddenly so the thing is the end of Elon's like term as like a government advisor thing came into play because you can only work for the government for a certain amount of time unless you actually get a position in the government. Like you could work in these advisory roles, but it's limited to a certain amount of time. So that's coming to an end. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, like Trump and Elon get into this crazy fucking like Twitter war. And it's funny because Elon's posted on X, Trump's posted on Truth Social. I need to make an account on both because apparently you can't see everything unless you have an account. Because like people are like posting this shit, and somebody at work was like, "You seen this?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then I go to like Elon's public thing, and you can't see it unless you have an X account. So I'm like, "Fuck, man! Now I gotta make an X account." Which I'm thinking for the X account, I'm gonna call it Here for Elon's Crash Out, and for the Truth Social account, I'm gonna call it Elon's Black Eye. Just follow both of these things because it's fucking crazy. But purportedly, this is all over fucking Trump's big beautiful bill, which the big beautiful bill is the spending bill for the next fucking year. So every year the government budget's got to get approved. They still haven't approved the budget for the next fiscal year yet because they're arguing back and forth on things that need to be added. So there's certain 2A things that got added to this bill. There's weird things, but I don't think it's weird. People are making a bigger deal about it than it really needs to be. So like the latest rendition of the bill basically says that states can't regulate AI for the next, I think, 10 or 20 years, something like that. Only the federal government can regulate AI. And people are like, that's weird. Why would they do that? I'm like, because they've determined AI is a national security need, and we're in basically an arms race akin to the atomic arms race with China over who's going to get to the best AI first. So because of that, Trump, and rightly so, doesn't want roadblocks on AI development by, like, let's say, because California's fucking assholes with all this shit. Let's say something gets put into California, and then suddenly the technology that's like cutting edge in California is gated by the fact that they're like, well, you need to put these roadblocks on. So he's saying, no, this is federal jurisdiction. Fuck you. We don't care what you say. And that's part of the government spending bill. I don't know how much that would hold up in court because there's always in the U.S. an argument between states' rights and federal rights, but it's in the bill. But regardless, the bill increases spending. It's I think $1.5 trillion less than the previous, but it's still like increasing bloat in some places. But really, with the tax cuts and stuff that it's adding as well, is part of the selling point of it. But really, the thing that they won't let them account for, and I think it's mostly because of the fact that, like, who knows, the next president could come in and just remove them anyway, is allegedly, and I haven't dived into this, so I can't confirm either way, but allegedly what they're saying is, given the tariff income versus the bill spending, the tariff income is expected to exceed the spending of the bill. So basically, if you account for tariffs, we would actually reduce the deficit, not increase it. But for whatever reason, the U.S. Congress does not allow that to be factored into the budget of the bill. Who the fuck? It is what it is. But regardless, Elon went on a crazy spat saying that like this undermines what Doge was trying to do. This is insane. We shouldn't pass this bill. Like any bill that increases the debt, like the debt, shouldn't be passed. And he went on a crazy crash out. And then Trump just truthed out. He was like, "Well, Elon's just mad because I'm removing the EV mandate." So as part of this, like they're removing the EV mandate. So now like it doesn't matter whether your car, like we're not doing this bullshit of we're going to go to all electric vehicles by a certain time. Electric combustion doesn't matter. Fucking that's the way it should be in my opinion. And then after he said, well, he's just mad about that, Elon responds with talking about the whole reason Trump hasn't released the Epstein files is because he's in it, and that's why he hasn't released it. Which the nice thing about that is now the left is pushing to have the Epstein files released, which I'm all for. and people are like, oh, it's crazy. It's like Trump's definitely fucking like, you know, he was with Epstein and all this shit and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, Trump's in the Epstein files, and people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, he always has been. What the fuck are you talking about? The guy was at fucking Mar-a-Lago partying until Trump banned him from the fucking place. Trump flew on the private jet with his family on that private jet several times. And Epstein rolled in the same social circle as billionaires. Mm-hmm. For sure, Trump is mentioned in the Epstein files. Now, what degree he's mentioned, I don't fucking know. And maybe this will get the Epstein files released. But like, they're like, oh my God, it's a bombshell. I'm like, no, the fuck, it's not. There was pictures of them together. Like, what do you mean? Of course he's in the files. Yeah. Like, this was never like a fucking like a topic of debate. We knew he was going to be in the Epstein files. It's just whether he was named as, you know, one of the accused in that or not. Mm-hmm. You know, if he's just a party too, by the fact that they ran in the same like social circles, like, okay. You know, that doesn't mean anything. That's like you get fucking convicted of a crime and they're like, oh my God, did you see that Phil's in his fucking court records? Yeah, because we fucking like hung out all the time. What the fuck do you mean? Like, I'm a known associate. Doesn't mean I did anything. Like, people are so stupid with these things where they're like, oh my God, because listed in the files, he's got to be fucking guilty. No, these court and criminal records list people that you know. They list pertinent to the case. And for sure, at some of the parties that fucking Trump had at Mar-a-Lago, because the thing that led to him being banned was Epstein hitting on one of the fucking underage servers at Mar-a-Lago anyway. Fucking, for sure, things happen where like, oh, Epstein was here at this night at soliciting so-and-so, and it was at Mar-a-Lago. Okay. So what does that mean? That's like I own a nightclub, and they're like, yeah, so-and-so was in there dealing drugs. Does that mean I'm a fucking drug dealer? Like, what? Fuck are you talking about?
Gotta stop dealing no drugs, man.
No, you know what I mean? Like, people are just so fucking stupid. But anyway, so Elon does that, and then Trump claps back by saying, well, you know how we could save billions and billions of dollars? We just cut all subsidies for Elon's fucking companies. And then fucking Elon fucking went nuts. And he's like, okay, well then maybe we decommission the fucking Dragon fucking rocket, which is the thing that was like got the people off the ISS to begin with. And it's like whoa. And then fucking some no-name guy on fucking X commented on Elon doing that, saying you guys both need to simmer down and like take a step back and don't be so extreme. And Elon responded to this no-name guy by being like, you're right. I'm going crazy. We shouldn't decommission this thing. It's nuts. And with all that and the feud back and forth, Elon Musk lost $35 billion in one day.
Jeez.
Because he went crazy. But I don't really care about Elon either way. Some people are like, oh, the right champion him. I didn't like him before. I don't give a fuck that he was doing these things. I like what Doge was doing. I don't think it went far enough. And personally, I wish Vivek was in charge of Doge instead of Elon, because Vivek wanted to fucking cut like 65% of the federal workforce, which I'm fucking here for. Cut the fucking bloat in the government. And people are like, oh, that's all those people unemployed. Welcome to fucking private life, where at a moment's notice your job can be laid off. Like, fucking fuck you and your special bullshit protections for working for the government. Just because you're a government employee doesn't mean that your job should exist any more than my job fucking does. If there's not a need for it anymore, cut it. It's ridiculous. The largest employer in the U.S. is the government. Whether it's federal, state, local, you think about it.
Yeah.
You have local governments, you have state governments, you have federal governments, you have all this bullshit, and they're employing more people than all the private industry. And if we cut some of that shit and put more of that money back into circulation in the economy and lower debt, we would have industry growth here that would make up for all of that. But people are like, oh my God, you're going to... Yeah, fuck them. The same way that you motherfuckers didn't care when our jobs were sent overseas. I don't give a fuck when somebody comes in and says, oh, your federal job's not necessary anymore. Sorry. Ooh, whoops. Sucks to suck. Learn the code. You know, like, fuck these people. Like, it's so funny that they're like, oh, I'm a hardworking crusader government employee. The fuck you are. What are you doing? Showing up 3 days a week? Remote fucking working at your government job? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, if the government is still functioning, despite the fact that we cut all these things, you know, what the fuck? What do you really do? Same thing with the government shutdown. When we do these government shutdowns, they always end them quickly because, like, 2 months into the government shutdown, people realize, need this shit for it. Because nothing changes. Your everyday life doesn't change at all. So, like, the government shutdown is always the federal government shutdown. People don't realize how much of your shit is just run by the state anyway. The federal shit is just bloat on top. Like, your state runs 99% of the functions in your everyday life. Fucking, the federal government's not running the goddamn DMV. The federal government's not running the fucking highway services. The federal government's just running the IRS taking your money. They're running the fucking the National Park Service, which honestly the state governments could take that over because they're state parks anyway. Like, what is all this extra bloat that we don't fucking need? Oh, well, we need to look into like this. Fuck off. Fuck you. Don't care. But yeah, so they were going back and forth, and the theory is with all of this is before Elon started working with Trump, the left championed Elon. They loved Elon. They were like, we're going to buy Teslas. Everybody loves Teslas. They're the best. EV vehicles are the future. This guy's all about climate change. And then as soon as he started working with Trump, they're like, he's the fucking devil.
I saw a Tesla the other day with a bumper sticker on it that said anti-Elon Tesla Club.
Yeah, because they're like the right loved fucking Elon and Teslas. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't name one conservative person who bought a fucking EV vehicle. They didn't want electric vehicles. Like, I don't want some bullshit limiting the distance I can drive. Like, oh, okay, great. I get an electric vehicle that has a 400-mile charge. What happens when I need to fucking stop and charge that up? I gotta wait for 30 fucking minutes before I can move on with my life? Give me a fucking gas vehicle all day. Now, I want a fuel-efficient gas vehicle, for sure. I don't want a fucking gas guzzler, but, like, I don't want to be limited by that. And not to mention, Teslas are kind of cheap anyway. Have you ever been in a Tesla?
Yes.
They're not great, right? Like the interior looks okay, but it's so cheap. It's so cheaply made where you're like,
I don't know. I've had some pretty comfortable Uber rides in some of the nicer Teslas.
Yeah, but like they kind of like remind me of like Apple in that way. It's the facade of something like luxurious, but really it's just cheap crap that like they put an extreme price tag on, and people don't realize like you can't resell those fucking things. When the batteries fucking die, it costs as much as the goddamn car to replace the battery cells. They're just scrap waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. They're hard to work on. They're fucking heavy as fuck. It just like whatever. The EV shit's like a whole nother thing. But the theory is now that they started this whole feud so that the left would start backing them again, so that people would start buying Teslas again and invest in the company again. And I could totally see it happen. because they're so flip-flop. If Trump said tomorrow, I believe climate change is real, the fucking left would be, climate change isn't real. You're full of shit. They're just so, I hate Trump no matter what he fucking says. If Trump started like buying into all this fucking shit, dude, if Trump came out tomorrow and be like, oh yeah, like all this shit that you think with gender identity, all this shit is 100% true, they would be like, no, it's not. There's only two genders. They would fucking, the next day, just be like, that's not true. It's fucking crazy. I just don't understand it. And and again, it's because I fucking hate everyone. Fucking, when people try to box me, they're like, can you believe this shit? You love what Trump does? I'm like, no, I don't. I like certain things. I don't like everything. I really didn't like when he fucking kowtowed to China and backed off that tariff shit. And he was like, oh, we're going to pause it for 90 days. Fuck you, ramp it up. Make that shit 400%. Squeeze them out. I just hate that shit. Like, yes, there are Trump derangement symptom people where they're like, no matter what he does, it's fucking, it's either the devil or it's God. And I'm just like, you guys are fucking both two sides of the same crazy coin. The in-between stance is, yeah, I like these things, I don't like these things, and fucking both times that he was up for a fucking election, I didn't like him as the fucking prime candidate. I voted for him because I didn't want fucking Hillary or Kamala, but fucking when he ran the first time, I wanted Ben Carson. That guy was smart as fuck. I love that guy. That guy would have done great things for his fucking country, but the problem was he was too smart. And I hate it, but like all elections are popularity contests. They're not who's best qualified. They're who can win over the most fucking people. And people weren't ready for a smart guy running the fucking country. And they're like, look at him, fucking look at the way he like sits there and thinks. It's like, do you hear yourself? Fucking Ben Carson was a child neurosurgeon, folks. Do you realize how fucking well educated and crazy smart you got to be to do that? Neurosurgery in general is already difficult, and now you're operating on children. So it's like 1 degree above that.
For a split second, I'm a little stoned now. You said child neurosurgeon. I'm like, this motherfucker was Doogie Howser?
What? I don't get the reference.
Doogie, you don't know who Doogie Howser is?
I know the name. I don't know. What do you mean?
Anyway, a child who is a doctor.
Oh, no, not that shit. Not like the good doctor with the fucking the autistic doctor. But no, not that shit. Fucking but Ben Carson would sit there and he would like they would ask him a question and he would talk with his hands a little bit, but he would think ideas through. I was like, this guy is fucking amazing. I love it. And MPH.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, fucking I love Ben Carson. I think he would have done amazing things for the fucking country, but people weren't ready for a smart fucking guy to run the country. Like, they would ask him a question and he would go like this. And he would like fucking think and comprehend before he answered, and he would give an honest answer. And they weren't ready for that shit at all. And then this second time around where Trump won, again, Trump over Kamala, I wanted fucking Vivek. Because, one, I didn't like that shit where Trump didn't show up for the Republican primaries. I thought that was bullshit. Where he's just like, I'm not going to run. We know what the de facto candidate is. I'm not going to show up for the debates. You can kiss my fucking ass. You don't belong on the same stage as me. I thought it was egocentric and a bunch of bullshit. I loved Vivek's plan for just cutting the government and gutting the fucking bloat, and he seemed very sincere in it. And he's learning from that because he's running for governor of Ohio now because they told him, you don't have enough political experience. He's like, okay, I'll go get it. So, like, when people accuse me of, like, you're just a fucking Trump supporter, I'm like, I'm a reluctant Trump supporter. Like, I like certain things that he does, but I think he was way too weak the first term. He's going a little bit better this term, but regardless, the biggest flaw that Trump has, and I don't understand how the left never exploited it on him, the biggest flaw that Trump has is his need to be loved. I don't know what the fuck happened in his childhood, but every action that drives the man is whether people will love and respect him or not. He doesn't give a fuck if it's right or wrong. He gives a fuck if that action will get him praise. And the left are so fucking stupid because they could have used and abused that the whole time. So like his first fucking term, the Republicans were kind of fighting him too. If the left had been like, Trump, just do this thing and we're going to love the fuck out of you. You're great. We love it. Do this. He would have fucking done it. Because before all this shit, he was a fucking Democrat, basically. So, like, I don't understand how people look at that man and don't see the fucking easy exploit, which is the guy does whatever gets him the most praise. And you could easily fucking make that happen. And what'll make him feel... So the whole reason why he did all these pauses on these tariffs anyway and set these baseline tariffs is because big guys in business were telling him, Trump, you're killing us here. The stock market's bad. People are hating you over it. He's like, okay, I'll pause them. And then people will love me because the stock market will come back up. You guys will make money again. They're like, this is great. The investor class was like, you're doing awesome, buddy. Stocks came right back up to where the fuck they were. Everybody's getting fucked over still, but who fucking cares? Because he's like, oh, they love me. They love me so much. Yeah, I fucking hate this shit. But regardless, that was a crash out there. We're going to have to see how this plays out with Elon and Trump. I have a feeling it is that fucking play of like, they're just like, we're going to make Elon fucking the champion again of the left so they get the investment money back. And it's not like this is the first time that this has happened. Trump has gone on record before with certain people that left his administration and then wrote hit pieces or worked for CNN and talked shit on him. He's like, I don't fucking blame him. He's like, I know the person. They're a great person. If that's what they got to do to make money, let them make money. I don't fucking care. Let them make money off of fucking shit talking me. So, like, he's already in that mindset, like, if this is what I got to do and you make money in that way, I don't give a fuck because I know how you are behind the scenes. So if publicly we got to act like we're in a feud, fuck it.
They're both businessmen.
Yeah, so I would laugh so hard if that's what this is. It's just a ploy to, like, fucking boost his company back up again. And even if it's not, it's
like you said, he lost $30 billion in a day, so...
But even if it's not, it's just two big, like, egocentric people fighting it out. And fucking, like, for the dudes, like, seeing it, you're like, whatever. But, like, I think, like, a lot of, like, women seeing it are like, oh, my God, they hate each other. It's like, no, dudes fight like that all the time. Like, there's so many times, like, you fight with your fucking friends where you're just like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
It's just on a much bigger stage.
Yeah. And then, like, 2 days later, let's go grab a beer, man. Like, fucking, we'll sort it all out. Or you duke it out and fucking, that's why the joke, like, that Trump gave Elon the black eye. I highly doubt it. But, like, fucking, like, you know, that's the other thing. Certain people were calling for him to deport Elon. He's not really a citizen. They're like, just fucking, like, deport him back to South Africa. I'm like, yeah, okay. Because there were some rumors about drug use, like he's on ketamine and shit all the time. They're like, fucking arrest him for his drug use and deport him to South Africa. They're never gonna fucking do that. The guy's tied up in so much business here. You're fucking insane.
Yeah, too much money flowing in.
Yeah, so I'm just like, you people are fucking nuts. Like, I don't know. I'm here for it. It's funny as fuck. I love it. And because, like, again, the one guy at work, he's like, what do you think about this? He's like, my cousins are all fucking texting about it. They're like losing their mind over it. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about Elon. Fuck that guy. The guy means nothing to me. I like what he did with Doge. I like that he fucking gutted USAID, not USAID, people. Don't fall for that trap. It's like the Fed. The Fed's not federal. Fucking USAID is not USAID. That's not what it does. It's the United States Association for International Development. That is not aid. That is us manipulating other countries. Fucking don't fall for the bullshit. But yeah, I like that shit that he did. But like, when they're like, oh my God, you guys love Elon. I don't give a fuck about that guy. I didn't like him before. He's autistic Tony Stark. And he always has been.
With more kids.
Yeah. Less charisma, more kids. Like, I like really don't give a fuck about that guy and what he thinks whatsoever. Yeah, he's done some cool things. And it's not because he's a genius. It's because
he's not even really Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's not a genius. He's smart. Don't get me wrong. He's not dumb. But the guy gathered a bunch of smart people together to develop these things. He doesn't have his hands in all of these things. There's no way you possibly fucking can. I'm sorry. If you're an inventor and you're a developer like that, you're not running the fucking company. You're working for somebody running the company because you don't have the time to do that shit.
Especially not with that many companies.
Yeah, or you're like
level they're
working
at.
small scale, like fucking like like you would be like how Tesla was back in the day. All these crazy ideas, but his company wasn't that fucking big. Okay, Guinness, you do you, buddy. You do you.
Lay down over here instead of over there.
He's like, where are my shoes to sniff this time? But yeah, I love it. I'm like, fuck you guys. I don't give a fuck about Elon. So now, on to the last fucking craziness of the week. The fucking LA riots. Or as I like to call it, the Mexican insurrection. Because this is the shit. People, if you want people to be on your side during protests in the US, you gotta fly some American fucking flags. Because every single one of these fucking protests I've seen in LA right now, they're all flying Mexican fucking flags. And to me, that's an invasion and an insurrection from a foreign fucking nation. That's not American citizens. Some of them might be American citizens. Who the fuck knows? But if you're flying another country's fucking flag causing trouble here, like, I don't give a fuck at all. Like, they're interfering with fucking ISIS duty. And like people are like, oh well, they're kidnapping people. No, the fuck they're not. They're arresting illegal citizens in this fucking country. That's not kidnapping. That's serving justice. You could fucking disagree with it. That's fine. If you want fucking illegal people to be here and you say like, oh, no one's illegal. Okay, cool. Try that in other countries in the fucking world. Doesn't fly. Try that in the Middle East. Try that in Africa. Try that in fucking Asia. It doesn't work that way. They will kick you the fuck out in a heartbeat. Europe will do it too. Europe will treat you a little bit nicer because you're a fucking American, but they still won't give a fuck. They'll kick you the fuck out of that country if you overstay your welcome. Like the fact that like people are like, oh my god, they're kidnapping people. They're breaking up families. You made that choice when you decided to be a fucking criminal.
Broke the law.
Yeah, do you feel that way? Like if a parent gets arrested for a fucking DUI, oh, we can't separate the parent from their kids. No, that motherfucker goes to jail. And it's sad. I don't think it's nice, but like, sorry, you fucking broke the law. And they're like, these people are doing nothing except the first thing they did, breaking the law. And I always tell people that's like fucking like somebody B&Es into your house. But then they clean your house, and then they fucking make you breakfast and shit. It's like, yeah, okay, that's great, but you're still broke into my fucking house. Like, I'm still gonna call the cops on you. I don't give a shit that you came in and cleaned. Like, what the fuck, man? Now, if you knock on my door and say, hey, I have a cleaning service, would you like to hire me to do this cleaning service, and I welcome you into my home, that's fucking different. But if you just break in and start cleaning, bitch, get the fuck out. You're going to jail. Like that's why the shit there is so nuts, and like they're doing shit like the ice cars are driving by and whatnot, and they're throwing fucking rocks at it and shit, like and bricks, and I'm like, dude, like these people are trying. The one thing where the big standoff that they were showing, right? ICE went in to arrest people in this like workplace that were like here illegally, and the fucking the workplace locked the doors and fucking held them hostage in the building. That's what started this whole shit. They were like, no, you can't hold fucking law enforcement agents fucking captive. Like, and that was the whole like standoff that they show. Like, it looks like it's an ICE facility. It's not an ICE facility. It's a fucking workplace that had ICE agents held captive. Dude, it's fucking insane. These people are nuts. It's like, yeah, you could protest. You'd be like, I don't agree with this. Say fuck you. I don't like what you're doing. But you can't hold them captive. Like they're law enforcement doing their legal job. Like, sorry, you sort it out afterwards. And they're like, they don't get a fair trial. They don't get due process. They're not citizens. Citizens get due process. Illegal fucking aliens do not. Even people that are here on visas don't necessarily get due process. The only thing they get is like, has your visa been revoked or not? Okay, well, if it hasn't, have you committed a crime or not? No, you haven't? Okay, well, we'll let you stay pending a review. Or they say, well, yeah, you have. Get the fuck out. Like, it's nuts to me. I don't know why people like are so flabbergasted how the fucking immigration process in this fucking country works, and it's because they're just uneducated on the fucking thing. Like they don't understand how the State Department works. They're like, well, you can't just kick people out. Yeah, the fuck they can. If you're not a citizen, you have no rights. You have no rights to that. The right
human rights,
huh?
Human rights.
Debatable. People don't realize the only reason why we extend certain rights and freedoms to people that aren't citizens of this nation is because if we didn't, what they would do is they would stop everybody and treat you like you weren't a citizen. So because they didn't want citizens treated unfairly, the Supreme Court basically said, okay, well, you can't treat anybody like they're not a citizen because we don't want fucking regular citizens getting swept up in this shit. So the stuff where they're afforded rights is not because they have rights, it's because it's trying to stop the erosion of our rights, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the protection is not in the affirmative for them, but in the affirmative for us, where like it's to protect us from being abused, not them. So when they get rounded up and they're like, you need to fucking go, they don't have rights. They're not citizens. They're not protected in that way. They're not a protected class. And I'm sorry that you guys didn't pay attention in your fucking history and social science classes, but that's not how the fuck it works here. The State Department has sole discretion to be like, hey, you don't belong here, get the fuck out. And that goes up to it and including green card holders. Because people don't realize if you get convicted of any crime as a green card holder, they can kick you the fuck out of the country, like instantly. They'll deny your green card and say you're gone. And like fucking people don't even realize like things like, oh, well, that's just bullshit. Dude, if you go into Canada and you're a convicted felon, they won't let you in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not even like stay there. They won't let you visit. They're like, turn the fuck around. Like, you're not allowed here. Like, the fact that like people are like, oh, well, this is bullshit. This is how it works everywhere across the fucking world. I don't know why we get guilt tripped into you gotta accept all this bullshit. But regardless, though, the fucking the riots in fucking LA are insane. And it's not the first time fucking California's had the National Guard set up. So Trump authorized the National Guard to come in, and so the way that it works, unless the Insurrection Act is invoked, federal the National Guard, when they're federalized, can't act in a law enforcement capacity. So they can't go in there and arrest people. But what they are going there to do is they're going there to as a security detail for the FBI, for ICE, federal facilities, and under the discretion of Homeland Security and the FBI, if they continue to get out of control and they continue to rebel, fucking the head of Homeland Security and the head of the National Defense is talking about sending in the Marines. And they're like, if you guys don't settle the fuck down, we're going to send the fucking Marines in, and the Marines are going to take care of business. Because what people don't realize is the Marines directly report to the president. So he doesn't need any fucking authorization from Congress, nothing like that, to mobilize the Marines. The president can send the Marines in at any point to do whatever the fuck he wants. And again, they can't act in a law enforcement capacity, but go in there and fuck shit up. And nothing will make you back down more than you see a bunch of fucking crayon-eating Marines come down your street and be like, hoorah. Like, they don't give a fuck, man. Especially if you're flying the Mexican fucking flag. They're like, you're not American. We don't give a fuck.
Marines are crazy.
Mm-hmm. And they're just waiting for an opportunity to fight. So, like, fucking, you're like, they're like, oh, yeah. They're like, are they Americans? Did you see that Mexican flag? They ain't Americans. They're like, all right, bet. I'll fucking go nuts. But, like, it's just wild. The world's gone fucking wild. And again, I'm not against legal immigration. I love legal immigrants. I love people that love this country so much. They want to come here. They want to stay here. They want to work here. They want to live here. Perfect. What I am not in favor for is the people that cut that line, that make that process so much harder for the legal people, that like, and then we give them all these rights and privileges and benefits that even the fucking people who migrate here legally we don't fucking give. And even some American citizens we don't fucking give. It's fucking bullshit, and I fucking hate it. They're just abusing the system. And I don't know why so many leftists are just like in favor of fucking like we need to give these people everything. Fucking why? And again, the left has become the party of elites. So it just must be they have so much fucking money, and the people that they know are so well fucking taken care of that they're like, fuck it, we can give these people everything. And I'm like, you people are nuts. We got people that can't even find fucking houses here, and we're housing these fucking people that don't even come here legally? Like, what the fuck? I just don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, solve our own homelessness epidemic first.
Yeah, or like take care of our veterans, shit like that. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, why the fuck are we giving these people so much fucking money and acting like they're better than like the bulk of Americans? And again, even if you take out the fucking the criminal fucking illegal aliens, the rest of them too are here illegally. Kick them the fuck out. And on top of that, I've said the whole time, and I firmly believe we need to do this because it's the only way to de-incentivize this shit. If you knowingly hired illegal immigrants, we should send you to fucking jail. We should seize your assets and send you to jail. And honestly, you should be treated the same way that we do with treason. It should be fucking lifetime in jail. You hired these people willingly and knowingly, even though you knew that they were violating their status, fucking lifetime in jail. And when people are like, oh, well, that's bullshit. No, these motherfuckers exploited these people for cheap labor, and I'm sure they threatened them multiple times to be like, well, if you complain, I'm going to report you to the fucking government. That's fucking slavery, bro. Send these fucking people to jail for life.
Some of that's conjecture.
What do you mean? Like what?
You don't know that all the people hiring illegal immigrants are doing that kind of shit. Some of them, sure.
No. That's why I say if you knowingly did it. So there's plenty of things like Social Security fraud where legal immigrants come over and they get a fraudulent Social Security number. You run the background check, you have no idea. But there are plenty of people in the country that willfully hire people knowing full well that they are not legal immigrants in this fucking country.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that doesn't mean that they're like blackmailing them.
Dude, listen, in your normal corporate workspace, they already put a lot of pressure over top of you to be like, you better fucking do this or you're going to lose your fucking job. Now, what if it's you lose your job and I report you to the government to get you kicked out of the fucking country? How much abuses could they get over you at that point where, like, not only do you need them to survive, but if you fucking cross the line, they're going to report you to fucking ICE and get you deported. Like, I'm sorry. I don't have sympathy for these people. I'm not
saying that doesn't happen. I'm just saying, like, referring to it like it's ubiquitous is...
Even if it's not ubiquitous, I don't care. Just like they committed the crime by entering the country illegally, you committed the crime by, fucking knowfully... don't lick me.
He's talking to my cat.
Yeah. Fucking... You committed the crime by fucking knowingly hiring these fucking people to get cheaper labor, because at the end of the day...
I figured just send the IRS after.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Even with the social security number, they're paying taxes, but who fucking cares? You're taking the job of people that are either here legally on visas, green cards, or you normal citizens wouldn't work normally. And even if you paid them the same exact fucking wages, I'm sorry, if you hire an illegal immigrant over someone here of legal status or an actual citizen, even if you are paying them a fair wage, you need to go to jail because you're just creating a criminal entity for no reason and you're incentivizing this bad behavior.
As I'm saying, there's already basically something for that. Just like crack down with the IRS more on that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not a good enough example. If you start taking some of these fucking places that are doing this and you put the people in charge of these hirings and the places that are willfully doing this and they get life in fucking prison, watch how quickly people go, I'm not fucking hiring you unless you have actual documented proof that you're a fucking citizen or you are here on a visa legally.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, well, that's fucked up. And I'm like, no, stop. We need to do like the Dave Chappelle fucking skit and start treating fucking white collar crime like blue collar crime. Fucking if somebody like did some fucked up shit and they're poor, we would lock them away for a long ass time. These motherfuckers, oh, they're running a business. Yeah, but that business hires 20 people that don't belong in this fucking country. Throw that motherfucker in jail permanently. I don't feel sympathy. I just fucking don't at all. Oh,
I see where you're coming from.
yeah, that's the other fucking great thing that happened this week. I forgot. The guy that like they sent to Ecuador and they're like, "Oh, they deported him like fucking unlawfully. He didn't get due process." And the due process was they forgot the little fucking criminal hearing check that says, "Oh yeah, your country's safe now. We can send you to fuck back there. Who cares?" That motherfucker they're bringing back from Ecuador now, but he's being tried federally for human trafficking and all this other shit when he comes back. And people don't realize the federal government like has a 99% fucking like conviction rate when they bring things to trial. So if they're accusing this motherfucker of this when he comes back, there is no doubt in my mind that he's guilty. Because they do not bring things to trial unless they have overwhelming evidence to convict. So that motherfucker's going to come here just to be convicted as guilty of these things and then either deported back to fucking Ecuador or go into fucking life in prison here. Because we don't fucking play around with human trafficking. And they're like, oh no, but it's like, okay, he might have not been an MS-13 gang member, but the shit they're accusing him of with the human trafficking shit, dude, was affiliated with MS-13. So he might not be a gang member, but he was working in proximity with. So like they're like, oh, it's a great victory. He's coming back. Yeah, he's coming back. Go right to fucking jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Like what the fuck, man?
That dude's gonna fucking get lost in Ecuador somewhere.
Yeah. And oh, that was the other crazy shit. You see the fucking crazy motherfucker that firebombed the fucking the Israeli like protester peace walk. So some of them are Jewish, some of them are not, but somewhere in the country there. Oh, it was in Colorado. In Colorado, this group had this weekly peace march where they're basically trying to spread awareness for the hostages that are still in Gaza from the Hamas attacks on October 7th. I think it was 2 years ago now. I think that was 2023 when that happened. But regardless, they're trying to raise awareness to bring the hostages home and free them. This fucking Egyptian guy that was here illegally because he overstayed his tourist visa made some Molotov fucking cocktails and fucking lobbed them at those fucking people. And the only thing that stopped him was one, he said he'd never seen somebody hurt before, so it took him pause. But he also set himself on fire, which also fucking stopped that whole thing. But like, so at first they were charging him with murder, but luckily everybody that got hit survived. It seems to be okay. I think there's a few people that are still in critical care, but like it looks like they're gonna make it. They're just like
burnt.
Well, yeah, it really fucking sucks, man. Like I don't know how these people are, but like burns are not nice. These people are probably permanently fucked up for life. So that motherfucker's gonna get tried as a terrorist, and as part of this, fucking Trump tried to deport their whole fucking family because apparently his whole fucking family is Egyptian and here illegally as well. Oh. And a Colorado judge blocked it. They were like, you can't get rid of these people. They didn't have anything to do with it. I'm sorry, if somebody in your fucking family that's here illegally and you're here illegally commits an act of terrorism, we have no obligation to fucking keep you here. Get them the fuck out. Like, one, it's not good for them to be here anyway because after all this shit, like, good luck living here normally. People are going to target the fuck out of them. But two, one, you weren't here legally, and you, like, come on. You can't tell me that you as his family didn't know this motherfucker was going to do that shit. I mean, to a degree, but like, come on. They went after the fucking guy that assassinated Trump, his parents, because, or was trying to, sorry, attempted assassination of Trump. Fucking, they went after his parents because I think he got the gun from them. And at the end, they fucking cleared him, but it's just like, fucking, like, these people are fucking here illegally, and they're fucking, the patriarch of their family, now a known terrorist. Kick him the fuck out. Like, it's just crazy to me. And like, honestly, the fucking the Jew hating thing in his country has gotten out of fucking control. Like, dude, like, you make jokes about that shit here and there. Okay, whatever, it's fine. We all get it. It's kind of funny. Like, everybody should be able to be made fun of. But we are now hitting a point where the same people are that are like, you are the motherfuckers that would rise Hitler to power, are doing exactly what Hitler did to rise to power. They're like, oh, we gotta eliminate the fucking Jewish scum from our country. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? They're like, fuck these guys. And I'm like, do you not see what you're doing? Get it? Not what you're doing?
Jesus Christ. Oh, jeez. That was awful.
Yeah, but they don't see it. But it's crazy because, like, oh, that was another thing that happened this week. Did you see the David Portnoy crash out?
No.
So he fucking lost it on one of his employees. For those of you who don't know, David Portnoy is the fucking owner of Barstool Sports, or as you might have seen, his pizza reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the background subtext to this, at one of his like bar restaurant facilities, a fucking waiter there or waitress there decided to put up a sign that said "fuck the Jews." He didn't approve this. It was just some employee that went rogue. But because of this, I'm sure he's lost a bunch of sponsorship on the back end. They're like, we don't want to support this. We want no parts of this. Like, fucking leave it alone. And then he went on one of his employees' like podcast shows, and they're doing like an interview. And the guy's like, he's like, so like we can't make Jew jokes now, and fucking because Portnoy is fucking pissed because he's losing so much fucking money over this. I'm sure on the back end where sponsors are just like, we're cutting our fucking contract with you. We're not gonna deal with this. Fucking Portnoy is like, how many fucking Jews have to die before you guys realize that like this shit ain't funny no more? And fucking the guy's like losing his shit. He's like, fucking. He's like, fuck you, you fuck. Why don't you fucking quit? He's like, oh, he's like, yeah, I'd save $500K. So this motherfucker's like questioning what his boss is telling him to do, and he's getting paid $500K a fucking year. For you, those of you who don't realize, that's about like 40, 45K a month. This motherfucker's getting paid 40, 45K a month, and he's like, well, what's the matter, boss? I can't make Jew jokes now? Shut the fuck up! Take your fucking money and shut the fuck up! Like, goddamn. But like, it's like, it's insane because again, there's so many people here that are like, Israel runs the U.S. Fucking farcical, insane. And there's so many people that are like, Israel's genociding this fucking, this nation in Gaza. Except, here's the thing, folks. You know what Gaza also shares a border with? Egypt. You know who's got a tighter border than fucking Israel with fucking Gaza? Fucking Egypt. Egypt refuses to take these fucking people from Gaza into their country. And Egypt is another fucking Muslim nation, and they won't fucking take these fucking people because it's better for them and their propaganda and Iran's propaganda and all these other fucking Islamic nations over there to fucking have Israel look like the fucking bad guy in the area because they're going after these people that literally kidnapped their fucking people and some of our own and have held them hostage for 2 years now. What nation in the world, if they held hostage American citizens, would we let get away with this shit for 2 fucking years? If anybody kidnapped American citizens, we would fucking carpet bomb them in a heartbeat, and it wouldn't matter who the fuck they were. Like, this is shit that like people are like, oh, no, these motherfuckers have their citizens now to this day still held hostage. Would we stand for that? Fuck no. And you can not be for the Israeli government. That's 100% fine, and it's okay. It's okay to criticize governments, but this fucking Jew hate we're seeing now is fucking insane. And again, it's to the level of fucking Nazi Germany. There are people out here now just calling for the death of Jews on TikTok, on platforms like that, and they're just getting away with it like scot free. And that's why they're like, well, why are they deporting all these people on these campuses that are calling for? You motherfuckers crazy? They're calling for the extermination of Jews after we just went through the whole World War II shit. And it's like, this is not okay. Not okay for this kind of shit to go down. But, oh, that's the other thing. Trump also put a ban on travel from like fucking 20 nations, some shit like that.
Oh.
A lot of African nations, some things like Cuba, Venezuela have like limited access now, but basically it's countries where you can't vet who the fuck they are and their background, or they don't feel like sharing. He just put like a complete travel ban from these fucking countries.
Huh.
Yeah, that was the other thing I forgot about that happened this fucking week. It's been crazy, dude. It's been a crazy fucking week.
Yeah, when shit shows up in my feed, it's getting wild.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Well, folks, if you made it this long, thanks you for sticking around for what is now our longest episode.
Yeah, sorry, I went kind of crazy here. It's been a fucking crazy week, and I'm all amped up on Mountain Dew.
But thank you for listening. Remember, if you like what you do and you want to hear more of it, subscribe. If you enjoyed anything about the show this time, leave some comments on what you heard and what you want to hear.
And remember, we're on YouTube, Spotify, and Rumble.
Thanks, folks.
See ya.